Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Hafiz, and I'm glad to welcome you to session number 3 of the Master Planning series in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. Today, we will continue discussing the coverage group setup, review each parameter, and go through practical examples to understand the functionality. The first parameter for today is the requested production order status or requested production status, and this applies to planned production order only, of course. So this parameter sets the production status for the firmed planned production orders. You have here three options: scheduled, released, and started. So depending on your business scenario, you can select the desired production order status. So let's go to the application and test this functionality. So here is the coverage group we use requirement, and here is the parameter requested production status. If we click here, we can see all the production order status, but actually this is sounds like a bug or a feature limitation because we can only select three values only. We can select scheduled, released, and started. So if you click on estimated, you will get an error. If you click on created, you will get an error. Reported as finished as well or ended. So we can select scheduled, released, and started. So let's select released as an example. Then let's go to planned order. So let's firm one of these and see the result. If we go back here to all production orders, we can see the status is released. Let's change the coverage to scheduled and planned order. Let's firm this one. Let's go to all production orders. As we can see here, now we have status as scheduled. So depend on your business scenario, you can select scheduled, released, or started. The next parameter is firming time fence. Firming time fence mean the period in days during which planned order are automatically firmed, and this allow you to control the time frame within which orders are automatically confirmed. Let's go to the application and test this functionality. So here in the coverage group, I set automatic firming time fence to 30 days. Before going to the master planning, let me show you the release product that I will use in this session. So we have finished good, and this finished good has a bill of material, and this bill of material has two versions, version 1 and 2. Version 1 is active, version 2 is not active. We will go to this one in another parameter, but let's focus on version 1. Version 1 has one BOM line semi-finished, and the semi-finished has bill of material, and bill of material also version 1 and 2. Version 1 is active and it has one BOM line, which is the raw material item. And let me show you the transaction for this item. So this item, let me delete this one. This one is created. Let me delete this one. So we have one sales order for 100 pieces. And also this sales order requested to be delivered on May 23rd. Today is April 15, so it means this will be delivered after 30 days. If we run the master plan or the net requirement with this setup, as you can see here, the planned order is not firmed automatically because the requirement date after 30 days. But what if we change the coverage group? Let's update the automatic framing firming time fence to, let's say, 40 days, or let's make it 60 days, and let's run the master plan again. I forgot something. I need to enable this parameter. So even if you enable the firming on the cover group, you also need to enable the auto firming here. Let's run it again. As you can see here, the planned order is firmed automatically and the production order is created. The next parameter is freeze time fence. Freeze time fence is the period in days during which new planned orders are not created and existing orders are not modified. In other words, it protects the planned period from changes to ensure stability. Let's go to the application and test this parameter. So here in the cover group, I set the freeze time fence to 15 days. So we cannot create any planned order within 15 days from today's date. Today is April 15. So let's run the planning optimization. So as you can see here, the application skipped 15 days, and then reduced the planned order as of May 2nd. It should be on April 30, but there is some manufacturing time around 3 days, so the first available day will be May the 2nd. I want also to show you what if we try to create a new planned order manually within the freeze period. So let me change this to, as you can see here, we have error message. The order delivery date is within a freezing fence. The first date is April 30. So this is what I wanted to show you here. So even if we try to create a blend order manually, we will get also an error message. So let's go to the next parameter. The next parameter is explosion time fence, which means the period in days during which planned production order are exploded into component requirements. In other words, it controls when the application calculates component needs for production orders. Let's go to the application and test this parameter. So here in the coverage group, I will set the explosion time fence to 100 days. So this means make explosion or explode any planned production order into components within 100 days. Let's also, if you remember, we have three levels. We have level 0, the finished good. We have level 1, the semi-finished, and we have level 2, the raw material. Let's run the net requirement. So the blend order is created. Let's go to the blend order. If you click here on this button, exclusion, you can see here the finished good is excluded into components, semi-finished and raw material. And we can see here the blend order numbers. The next parameter is capacity time fence, which defines the number of days into future which the application consider resource capacity constraints when scheduling planned production order. Within this time frame, master planning use the item active production route to evaluate the availability of resources to ensure the production order are scheduled correctly based on actual capacity. But what if we set the capacity time fence to 0? This means the application will ignore the capacity constraints entirely during the master planning. This means planned order will be generated based on material availability and lead times only, without verifying whether the necessary resources, such as machines or labor, are available or not. The implication for this setting, this could lead to overloading the resources, unrealistic schedules. So let's go to the application and verify this. So here, let me go to the coverage group first. So I have sales order with requirement date as of today's date, but usually the 100 each, it usually takes around 3 days to produce. So let's see the impact of this parameter. So let's keep this as 100. If we run the master plan again, so we can see here the application considers the capacity, the resources capacity, and created the planned production order to be on April 17. But what if I changed this to 0? Let's run it again. Not this one. So as you can see here, the planned order is generated as of today's date, ignoring the capacity of the resources. So make sure to set up the capacity time fence correctly to get a realistic requirement date. The last two parameter for today is use a specified route or BOM or formula version. So in the sales order screen, the customer can request the product to be produced using specific BOM or route. Let me show you in the application. Let's go to here is the application and let's go to the release product. I want to go to the sales order. On the sales order line details, under product tab, we have two fields here, BOM and route. So here, by default, the application will plan using the active bill of material or active formula. But what if I specified this one? Let's go to the coverage group. If I have this parameter turned on to yes, the application or the master planning will use the bill of material specified in the sales order line. If this parameter turn it off, the application will use the active bill of material. Let's test this together. So here I expect the master plan will use the bill of material specified in the sales order line. Let's go to release product and go to plan, net requirement. Let's run here. Okay, let's go to the blend order. Scroll down As you can see here, the application used BOM number 178, the specified on the sales order. What if we turn off this parameter? Let's turn off the parameter and run it again. Good. Let's go to the blend order and let's see here. So as you can see here, the master plan used the default active bill of material. I will stop at this point. We will continue in another session. Thanks for watching and wish you best of luck. See you. Bye bye.